Hey guys, sorry about my hair. I just got out of the shower like 5 minutes ago, and yeah. So today I'm going to talk about um the history of spiritual atheism. Now, when you caught my one video talking about what is spiritual atheism and why I'm a spiritual atheist, which was an okay video, but I felt like I missed a lot of points with it after rewatching it again, so I kind of wanted to make this video talking about the history of spiritual atheism. Now, the thing about this is, it's hard to super down a movement in one time period. Especially with something, because technically spiritual atheism kind of been around ever since, atheism been around. There's always been people who never technically follow a type of religion, but always followed spirituality. And I think you see that kind of in the New Age movement. But I'm going to go on record and say spiritual atheism got big in the mid to late 1960s. Which makes sense if you think about it, seeing the 60s were kind of a big time for social change. It was a time where the women's movement was thriving. It was a time where the gay movement was thriving. It was a time where basically anything was thriving. And what was taboo and what was not taboo, I should say, they broke that. Spiritual atheism was a smaller movement, though. Though it kind of was big under the umbrella of the hippie movement. Now, the hippies, like them or hate them, you gotta admit, they did some good. They did some good. Now, if you've seen some of my videos, you know, I love the idea of the hippies, though I'm kind of critical on them. Because, to be fair, I'm kind of a hippie myself, but I see it as okay, so what type of hippie are you talking about? Are you talking about the media type hippie where it's just dancing around in the forest, eating a bunch of shrooms and doing nothing? Or are you actually talking about somebody with radical ideas, protesting and trying to make life better? To me, that's a hippie. But anyway, I would say the spiritual atheist movement kind of got big under this kind of hippie umbrella. Now, keep this one clear. Not all spiritual atheists are hippies, though. Though there's some similarities to it, you know, like some people who are spiritual atheists, for example, they may like meditation. Some people don't like meditation who are spiritual atheists, they just believe in it. Some people just use it as a way to kind of say, yeah, I'm kind of spiritual, but I reject religion. I know this video is kind of lagging on it, but the idea is history itself on this movement is kind of like a lost type of history if you think about it. It's not, you can't really crack it down to one area either. I'm saying the 60s because the 60s is when it got a little notoriety. But I'm pretty sure if you look at any civilization of any time period, you see kind of a ejection of religion, but you also see this place of like nature, like the idea of God is nature. So yeah, that's kind of it. If you guys are really interested in spiritual atheism, I would address you to do your own research. A good place to start actually is actually looking into the New Age. Now, me and myself ain't really a big New Ager really, but there is some factors what go in to spiritual atheism, what the New Age movement would adopt later. So if you're interested in any of that, I would advise you to really check into like the New Age, maybe some Buddhism, anything what is not really a religion but has like a philosophy around it, what is kind of spiritual. I would advise you to do that to get this sense, because like I said, really spiritual atheism is a coined saying. And I use spiritual atheist as like a loose term. I'm not really talking about like, oh, I'm an atheist. I'm an atheist as in, I have a really atheist mindset. I don't care what you believe in, as long as if you're just nice to everybody. But at the same time, I do not object there is a spiritual realm somewhere. Now, I don't believe in a guy with a beard watching over us, but I definitely believe in something spiritual is out there. And I do. Now, it could be nature, it could be whatever. I believe it's nature. But tell me what you think.